Let's take a few minutes to check up on Apple. Hi, I'm Nick. So today was a pretty interesting day for Apple. It had a miracle headline that broke out exactly when it needed it, and let me expand on that concept. So this is the price action for today. We had a sliding Apple, lower lows, lower highs. It came to 179.6 at the lows of the day on Tuesday the 27th, and then out of nowhere, headline breaks out, stock rallies 2 and change percent, bails it out. Let me tell you why it was important for this headline to break out exactly at this place. They have been setting lower highs, knocking on a floorboard, and if the floorboard gives way, they were going to slide a bit lower. So you can see here there was a very sharp bounce off of 179 and change early February. You can argue that there were two other bounces, one from early January and mid-January, and then more recently on the 20th. So now we have had several attempts to hold this line, and if we had lost this line, they would have gone down by as little as $8, as much as $16 or $17. Yes, that happens. So they basically would have priced out the whole earnings reaction from last November. So this was a serious place to bounce. It was a logical place to bounce, but the headline was pretty ridiculous, lame excuse for it. So how do I trade this? I'm still seeing lower highs. If you look at it, we have several lower peaks, and they are still trying to hold the floor. Now keep in mind that this is happening while the market cannot stop rallying. Why would the king of stocks be struggling to hold a floorboard? That's the question. Fundamentally, the stock is still solid. They have a great P&L. They have a great balance sheet. They have a less than great CEO. And personal opinion, of course, there's so much potential in the company, and it doesn't seem to be leading the pack anymore. Nobody's mentioning Apple when they're talking about AI. They're mentioning Microsoft, they're mentioning Alphabet, Meta, and of course, NVIDIA. Technically, it needs a bounce. It cannot afford to lose 179, because if it does, I can foresee an easy trip to the low 170s and potentially to the low 160s. This is not an invitation to short Apple. It's just a concern that the price action is less than bullish. Keep in mind again that this is as bullish a market as I've ever seen. So we have sellers as we go above 185. So we shall see if tomorrow there will be follow through and the rest of the week to break out from 186, 185. If they do, 188 is even just as tough. If you look on the left, the volume profile indicates as much. This is an area of resistance. So is this. And this is a must-hold situation. If you don't, you're going down to 175 or lower in a series of lower highs and lower lows. In other words, this channel of descending peaks could continue and breach the support. Technically speaking, today it got bailed by a headline. It will need to hold that floor from which it got bailed today.